So to make the calyx, we're going to use my 2 templates here, and just going to begin by rolling out some green paste, nice and thin. Right, so then I'm just going to line my templates up, and I'm going to cut around using my knife. It's slightly easier to do it this way than with the scissors. And if you've got a bit of veg fat on your board, then it just helps hold everything in place whilst you trace around your template. So that's one of them done. Okay. So I might just give this a little trim. And then we're just going to thin the edges. And then for the pointier calyx, I'm just going to take my Dresden tool and just create a couple of lines down it just to give a bit of detail. So I'm doing one down the middle and then one either side of that original line. Okay, Then we're just going to take some egg white and I'm going to rub it all over this shorter calyx. And then feed that up to the base of your peony. So you want to check that your petals are as open as you'd like them to be before you do this part, because it will be harder to move them once you've got this in place. So that's just kind of stuck up against the base of the petals there. And then I'm going to flip over my skinny one and apply egg white going about halfway up each of the sepals. And then feed that up as well. And so you want it so that you're kind of going in between each of the parts from before. So if you see what I mean, creating this kind of starred shape. So if you've glued about halfway up with your egg white, then as you turn your flower around to dry, the sepals should just naturally curl back a bit and give a kind of natural shape as they hang down. So you can give them a little bit of a curl if you want, but they should find a nice natural place to sit. So we'll let that dry completely and then dust them. Actually, I'm just going to add some green tape to this as well whilst it's soft. It's easier to do this before the calyx sets up. So I've just got some green floral tape and I'm just going to cover up this white with the green. So like that. And I've got one that's ready dried here, so I'll just show you how I dust this one. So to dust the calyx, I'm going to use some Roxy and Rich Sage, Squire's Kitchen Yellow and Sugar Flare Burgundy. But you don't have to use these exact colours, but it gives you an idea. So I'm just going to mix some of the dark green with the yellow to kind of create a slightly more vibrant green. And then very carefully, I'm just going to dust this onto the calyx. So these narrow bits are going to be quite fragile, so just be really careful when you're dusting. So I'm just going to dust all over with this vibrant green, and then I'm just going to catch a few bits with the burgundy. And just go really slowly and carefully with the more fragile bits. So I think that's pretty evenly on now. So I'm just going to take a bit of this burgundy and just catch some of the tips and the edges with it. It just gives a really nice natural finish. And I'm going to add a little bit around the top of the stem here. Okay, so that's our finished calyx and our finished flower. So all of the details that you need for the class are going to be included on the blog post. So the tools that I've used, materials that I've used, and also a link for all of the templates as well.